Good evening and welcome to Koala's Kryp In. I am Koala. So today I wanted to talk to you about Hel's Eve. So Hel is the goddess of the underworld that is called Helheim in the Nordic tradition, in the Nordic mythology and in Nordic shamanism. And this is the goddess of the death realm, the realm of the dead, the realm of death, the realm of darkness, darkness within you, darkness outside of you. And this evening, when I'm recording this, it's Hel's Eve. Okay, so it's the 31st of August each year we celebrate Hel's Eve. Not all Nordic people do, just so you know, but some of us that practice Nordic shamanism and the Nordic tradition celebrate Hel's Eve. So I think it coincides somewhat with Halloween and Samhain. We do have All Hallows Eve, but in Sweden that's the coming weekend. So this is really separate from that, but at the same time not. So you could absolutely celebrate Hel's Eve on All Hallows Eve, that is in a week from now in Sweden, because celebrating the dead is absolutely part of celebrating this goddess, and that is the purpose of this. That is the purpose of this eve, to celebrate and to honor the goddess of death, Hel. Her name is spelled as I have spelled it in the description box, or like in the title, H-E-L. So just one L, just so you know, and the same with Helheim, H-E-L-H-E-I-M. And Heim means home. So the home of Hel is her world in the lower worlds. So in the Nordic tradition, we have three worlds in the lower worlds, or the underworlds. So the first one that, or like I would say, I don't want to say the middle one, but the map that we draw, on the map that we draw, it's the middle of the three worlds, because we have three lower worlds, three middle worlds, and three upper worlds. So the middle of the three lower worlds in the map of the Nordic cosmos, or like the Nordic map of the cosmos, of course, the Nordic shamanic map of cosmos. And this is the world, as I said, is the world of death, and it's the world of the goddess Hel, and here lies your own mortality, your own relationship to your own mortality, and to the concept of death, and to what you perceive death to be. And also it's here you lay and is held by the darkness when you are going through a shamanic death of sorts. So this is a goddess that I really enjoy working with, and I have been in her service for 11 years now, I'd say. So I first met her during a near-death experience. And so when we travel to this world with shamanic journeys like drum travel or whatever, we encounter our own mortality, and if we are fearful in doing so, because the greatest, what would you say in English, the greatest danger, yeah, the greatest danger of drum travel or shamanic journeys is when you are fearful. So if you go into it with fear, with being fearful, that is when you can take things back with you, like from the lower realms, which are your subconscious mind, to your conscious mind. You can bring things up from one level to the other that you are not yet prepared to handle. So if you have fear around this, or if you just feel like, ooh, I don't want to go into the world of the dead, or like the the underworld. No, 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 thank you. So if you're that kind of person that is really scared when you watch scary movies and not just, or that's not the right way to say it either, because I can be really scared with scary movies, but I feel so safe going into a drum travel or a shamanic journey. So that, but you know yourself best. So if you are fearful or if you have hesitations, then start off with a meditation. So in celebrating this eve, I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to celebrate this yearly ceremony. This I don't want to call it a Sabbath or whatever, because it's not Wiccan, so it's just a holiday or whatever, and we call it like yearly ceremonies. So we have like 4 to 8 yearly ceremonies in the Nordic wheel of the year, and this is the seventh one if we start with the winter solstice and go around, and this is the last one before the winter solstice again. Or this is maybe the eighth one. Anyway, so the easiest way to start celebrating this time of year is to keep an altar and to put items on there that makes you reflect upon death and makes you honor and think of the goddess of death, Hel. So she's best known for having one side of her face rotten and like dying, and then the other side of the face is extremely beautiful, like you can't even look at her because she's so beautiful, and then she can turn either side to you depending on what you need to see within yourself in the meeting with her. So you can keep an altar and you can have some items on it. You can have maybe a drawing or a sculpture of her or something else that you connect with death. I have a small lepidolite skull that I really connect with for this time of year. And I also have some other items like pictures of deceased family members and a family tree that I have not painted. That's too intricate for what I did. I just draw a family tree on a piece of paper and framed it. So that's what I have. And then I light grave candles. So not like ordinary candles. I do that too, but I have at least one grave candle, like one of those with a metal top. You know, I hope you know what I mean. So that's like the easiest way to just honor. And then the next step is, if you want to also open a circle or cast a circle. I open a circle and then I close it when I'm done. So open a circle and have your altar in the middle or somewhere in the circle, and then commune with the dead in any way, like drawing cards or runes, or I don't like Ouija boards, but maybe you do. And then when you're done, you close the circle and you thank everyone, and they will go back to where they came from. So, like, the third way of doing so, of honoring Hel and celebrating this time of year, is to go into meditation. And for me, the difference between a shamanic journey and a meditation is that in a meditation we stay in the middle world, and instead of going to the realm where Hel dwells and lives and is the queen, we and invite her to meet us on our turf, so to speak. So that can feel a bit more safe to do. So you open your circle and you invite the goddess, and you light your candle and you sit and just feel for a moment, and then you intentionally go into meditative state. I usually do this by visualizing that I'm sitting by my tree with like my back to my tree, where I start all meditations and journeys, most of them anyway. And then I look with my inner eye, I look forward, and I see a figure coming towards me. And because I'm in this meditation with the intention of meeting the goddess Hel, the figure that comes towards me is the goddess. So she's coming to me to meet me here And then when I am done, when I have communed with her, I make sure not to follow her anywhere unless it's like on the plane level. So I can also have like a guide with me, or I can have some spirit animals or power animals around to help me navigate the meditation. But mostly I just meet with her in the middle world, and then when we are done, I say goodbye, thank you very much, and I see her walk away, and I count to 9 or 18. So like 18 is her number in the runic system, because she is connected to the 18th rune in the Uthark, which is called Ewas. EHWAZ in English and EH in Swedish. So mostly I count to 9, because 9 is also a sacred number. So in the Nordic shamanism, the sacred numbers are 3, 6, and 9 mostly, and then there are a bit of a sacredness around the number 7, and maybe some more that I'm not thinking of right now. But anyway, so this is like a light version of really communing with the goddess on this sacred day. And then of course, what I'm gonna do tonight, hopefully, probably, with a group of people that I know are ready for it and are how do I say this, are experienced in the world of shamanic journeys. We're gonna go into a shamanic journey, a soul journey, and we're gonna go to Helheim to meet Hel on her turf, and we're gonna commune with her there. And with us, we're gonna have a guide that is like the definition of a guide that really shows the way, you know. And then we're gonna have a power animal with us to help us feel safe, because that's as I said in the beginning, it's the most important thing, to feel safe. Because if you don't feel safe, if you don't have the protection with you that you need to have, then you might bring things up to the surface with you, and you might also do the mistake of like jumping from the lower world straight up to the conscious level, the middle world, and without and with that you don't only thin the veil between the worlds, you might like eliminate it completely, and that is when psychosis can happen. So for instance, when people are experimenting with substances and having psychosis afterwards, this is what I would say happens, that they have eliminated the veil between the non-ordinary reality and the ordinary reality. And the non-ordinary reality is all of the all of these worlds, especially the lower worlds and the upper worlds, and also some of the middle worlds. Well, just the veil between where we are in the physical world and the physical realm and the other worlds. So even the dream world, like not the dream time, not that concept, but like the dream world, that when you go to sleep, you dream, and then you wake up, you go through a veil, and then you are living in your dream world, and then when you slowly wake up, you leave that dream world and into this one. And if that veil is eliminated, you might always live in with everything climbing on top of you. And I have never had a psychosis, but I've met a lot of people that have, and that is kind of what I would describe when I'm like sensing their energies and helping them uh, as best I can. So that's kind of how I would describe it. So you, when doing a shamanic journey or a drum travel, which is the same thing, I call it, in Swedish we call it drum travel, when we use the drum to connect us and to both to, what's the word, like, I'm thinking of one of those things that they throw out of ships, and then connect to the water, to the ground under the water. Anchor. I think that's how my mind works. Anchor. So both as an anchor to the body and to the physical world, but also the sound of the drum helps us to really go deep within ourselves. So we call it drum traveling. So you really need to do it in a good way. And for me, that is starting by the tree and then follow your guide or follow the person whose voice is guiding you through the journey. And then always take the same way back. So like backtrack wherever you went, back to the tree before. That's what I call the landing part, okay? So we are landing, that is when we are like, oh, it's time to go back, and we find the same way back. That's the landing part. And then we ground ourselves. That is when we are sitting by the tree and we are starting to like connect to the reality more again. Like when we are waking up, we are stretching a little bit, we are maybe yawning, and we are slowly getting used to the light again, or like the colors and contrasts of the lights around us when we wake up. So that, but on a conscious level, like consciously going through the steps of grounding oneself. So, and it's important to do so, and it's also important to thank all of the energies and powers that's been with us, and then close the circle and end it there. So, this is hopefully what I'm gonna do tonight. I haven't really, I don't script things. I I don't script things. Not even my ceremonies. I don't script them from like A to Z. I just I have an intention. I have a clear intention of honoring Hel and honoring my ancestors, and going into this with an open heart and an open mind, and we're gonna let go of fear. We're gonna let go of everything that we don't need to bring to the lower worlds and back again. And then we are gonna follow the guidance through the ceremony. And I have worked with Hel so many times now. So I worked with her for 11 years, you guys. So I worked with her for so long that I truly know what I'm doing. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna be like six or seven people, I think, and it's gonna be amazing. And I hope that you had or will have a wonderful time celebrating Hel as well, because as I said, you can do this all week. So even though this video comes out on Thursday and I recorded it on Monday, you can still celebrate Hel all week long. Just if you feel called to do it, just do it. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments if you haven't been in the chat. By the way, what do you think about the chat? Do you like that I have it on Premiere so that we can chat together? I haven't done that before. Or don't you like that? Should I not do that? So tell me what you like, put it in the comments, and I will see you next time. Like and subscribe, guys. As someone said, I'm waiting for you. Are you done? Great. Walk in beauty, and I will see you next time. And as I end all my videos, Xingeling.